What is up, my fellow Barrel Nation? Errol the Barrel back here bringing you another video. And yes, it is me, Errol, this time. Sorry about Sans intruding in the intro of this video. I apologize for that. But yeah, it is me now, so no worries. So I know I'm pretty late to the party, but Terry recently released, which is pretty exciting. And as always, just like tradition, I'm going to be doing a video on him. And today I'll be covering the info and my thoughts on Terry and him being in Smash, his aesthetics, and of course his moves. So I'll swiftly be going over a side note real quick, and that is that we are actually doing a remake of our Discord server once again. So yet again, we are just rebuilding it. So if you would like to join that new server, the link will be down in the description. Once again, the link is in the description below, so don't be shy to join. And without further ado, let's check out my first impressions of and analyze Mr. Ken with a hat.
Hey, come on!
Now, first of all, who even is Terry Bogard? Or as I like to call Terry Bogard. Yeah, pardon my sense of humor, but once again, kind of like the Sans release, I made a couple of memes regarding Terry. And one of them happens to be Terry Bogard, and another one is Terry Bogard. I'm sorry. But anyways, back on the topic. Like, who even is this guy? And this guy Terry, and who in the world even is he? Like, these thoughts probably came to your mind when Terry was revealed for Smash Bros. Some may think that he comes from the game Fatal Fury, and some others may think that he comes from King of the Fighters, while others may think that he comes from Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games and Knuckles for the 3DS and Wii U, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, Limited Edition, Origins Edition, Legend Edition, Battle Royale with Amiibo support, and Knuckles.
Who put that on a script?
But if you picked the first answer, you would be correct. Terry Bogard is the main character of Company SNK's Fatal Fury, but while he doesn't make an appearance in King of the Fighters, King of the Fighters is actually a crossover game that features SNK characters, meaning that he doesn't originate from King of the Fighters. Instead, he originates from Fatal Fury, Fury. I've even heard that back in the day, Sakurai was a big SNK fan, and that King of the Fighters might have even inspired Sakurai to create Smash, because, you know, Smash Bros. Is not only a crossover of Nintendo characters, but gaming as a whole, and, you know, but it used to be only just limited to Nintendo characters, and, of course, like I said, King of Fighters is a crossover of SNK characters, so they have their similarities. By the way, shout out to shut_up_fahed on Instagram for helping me out with my semi-script, because he is a fighting game expert, and without him, I wouldn't have been knowledgeable about these info of Terry Bogard, so shoutouts to him. Sakurai himself stated that it's more important to have a character that's fun to play as opposed to being a character that's recognizable. And honestly, I'm on either side on this one. I somewhat agree and somewhat disagree on this statement. And personally, in my own opinion, I don't know if I should side with this statement. I mean, like, sure, on one hand, you can have one character that's fun to play as, but has, you know, a horrible recognition. And then you can also have this one character, on the other hand, that it has great recognition, but is really boring to play as. But here's the thing, I don't think you should let one option overweigh the other. I feel like being a character being recognizable and fun to play as should have equal importance, you know? So like a character being fun to play as and being recognizable should be as equally as important when implementing a character into Smash Bros. But that's just my take on it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you personally agree with Sakurai's statement or not, and which side you think is more important. But while we're still dabbling on the topic of Mr. Sakurais Presentation, and yeah, he did have his presentation on Terry Bogard, just like how he did with Hero and Banjo, we didn't really get a surprise me costume at the end of this presentation. Like, sure, I mean, yeah, we got Fatal Fury, SNK, third parties me costumes, but we didn't really get like a mind-blowing one, kind of like from Sans from Undertale at the end of the Banjo-Kazooie presentation. But yeah, I mean, like it could have been Sora from Kingdom Hearts or whatever, but we didn't really get any mind-blowing or surprising character from the Mii costumes, but I'm alright with that. I just hope we get another one of those soon, because Sans from Undertale was awesome. But concluding this segment of the video, overall, I feel like Terry Bogard was a pretty nice pick for Smash Bros. I wasn't all too fond of him joining in the first place, especially because, again, I said it once and I'll say it again, I am a fan of modern representation in Smash Bros. Like Steve from Minecraft, Sans from Undertale, Tracer from Overwatch, stuff like that. But yeah, I know, and Terry's another old school boy, and I haven't really played an SNK game before, as far as I remember, but so this might make it a little biased, but still, I wasn't really that fond of him being in first, but slowly but surely, later on, I started to adore him, and I feel like he fits in really well with the cast of fighters in Smash, such as like Little Mac, Ryu, Ken, especially Ryu and Ken. He's like the third fighting game characters we have so far, so woohoo for Terry. I just really hope that the next DLC fighters will be modern reps. Just please, Sakurai. Thank you. Next, let's go to his aesthetics. Let's actually start off with the stage. The stage is called King of Fighters Stadium, and of course it reads King of Fighters in the background with that sign. It's similar to Pokemon Stadium and Boxing Ring in the sense that it has the gameplay in the background on the screen. Well, on a smaller screen, that is. However, the main gimmick of the stage that makes it unique compared to any other stage on Smash Ultimate is actually on the left and right parts of the stage and are on the walls. And the main gimmick is that both ends of the stage aren't actually walk-offs, they're actually invisible walls. So in order to KO your opponent, you have to build up enough damage to knock them out of the screen. But you have to do it, but it has to be enough knockback so that it will break the invisible wall, like how I'm showing in my gameplay right now. Sure, while this makes it so that I don't think the stage will be legal, I still really find it neat, like very unique for like casual play especially, and it makes it seem like you're actually playing a traditional fighting game, which is very, very nice. Additionally, you may have noticed that there are King of Fighters and Fatal Fury characters in the background of the stage. I see Buff Ken over there.
Hey, it's my boy Naruto.
And oh my gosh, look at Athena as Amaya. She might just be my new waifu. She looks so kawaii. Look at the pose she's doing. She's doing like an anime girl pose. Like, you know how one of my waifus is Penny Parker, right? She's doing like the same peace sign, like, the pose. Oh my gosh, she might be my new waifu. But anyways, moving on. Though, it appears that someone is missing from the party. Right, if you watched the presentation, yeah, you would have known that Mai Shiranui is actually cut from the game. Because Sakurai states that he doesn't want any suggestive themes in the game because his game is for good boys and girls, quote unquote. And that's literally me and my Discord server. Also, that's probably why Terry didn't get his female Terry costume. And speaking of alternate costumes, the first one, of course, is his default skin, and he's rocking in the red, and his cap says Fatal Fury. His second one is blue, and it's also an alternate costume in this games, and that's why it also reads Fatal Fury on it. His third alternate costume is the brown one, and it's from King of Fighters 12 and 13. And Gara Mark of the Wolves, and where his cap also has nothing on it. But okay guys, hear me out here, hear me out. This alternate costume right here looks like it was ripped out straight from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I kid you not. Like, you know how Smash Bros. Brawl has that gritty, dull, and really serious aesthetic to it, right? That really brooding aesthetic. Well, like, seriously, look, put this render next to Mario's Brawl render. Do you see what I mean? Like, it looks like it came out from Brawl. Like, well, don't believe me yet? Well, let's look at the gameplay. Look at it from a gameplay perspective. You see what I'm saying now? Like, this looks like it's from Smash Bros. Brawl. Just look at the aesthetics of this costume. Look at the art style, man. For his green one, his cap is also blank and it's from King of Fighters 2002. Now, in Smash Bros. Wiki, it says that this one's an orange alternate costume, but I see it more as a light red costume. Like, look, it looks like it's saturated, more saturated red, doesn't it? And his cap also reads Neo Geo on it, akin to his older designs, which is pretty neat. His 6th alternate costume is from King of Fighters 98, well, one of the alternate costumes from that game. And this time his cap, wow, his cap keeps on changing, but this time his cap says King of the Fighters on it, just like in Fatal Fury 3 and Real About Fatal Fury. For his second to last alternate costume, he's rocking an all black right now, even his jeans this time are black. And speaking of which, his jeans are now made of leather instead of denim, and his cap now has a metal plate on it, akin to like from the anime series.
They're based on his original games, and we've also included some from the King of Fighters 14 and the anime series.
Wait. Sakurai said the word anime? You know what that means!
Goku confirmed! Goku confirmed!
And lastly, for his yellow one, it's also an alternate costume from King of Fighters 14, and this time his cap reads South Town Hungry Wolf.
Moving on to his taunts.
For his up taunt, he strikes a pose and says, "Hey, come on," which is one of his famous catchphrases and poses. For his side taunt, he moves his legs together and does a handgun, and that kinda reminds me of Luigi. And for his down taunt, he spins his cap kinda like Mario. By the way, a Twitter user that goes by the name of ArchdenMeverse, he stated that, okay, hear me out, Terry has to have his hat throw as one of his taunts, and give the hat a hitbox like Robin's book or Snake's cardboard box. Unfortunately for him, this didn't happen in the end, but for one of his victory animations, he goes, "Okay!" and turns backwards and throws the cap. This is an iconic victory pose from pretty much all of the games. For another one, he also shouts "okay" and throws his hat, but this time he faces the camera and it zooms into his face. It's from King of Fighters 94 and 95. And for his last one, it's from Real About Fatal Fury, and this time he doesn't throw his hat, but instead he puts it on and the camera zooms into his face once again. Ooh, he looks really cool. Lastly, I'm gonna touch on his music tracks, and oh my gosh, I feel really bad for Final Fantasy's fans because they only have 2 songs, while this guy has a staggering 50 songs. Oh man, Sakurai really outdid himself for this one. Finally, let's get onto his moves. Just like Ryu and Ken, this buff Pokemon trainer will always face his opponent and have special inputs. So speaking of which, if you have fun playing Ryu and or Ken, you're almost guaranteed to have a fun time with Terry. But then again, that comes at the expense of him being pretty hard to learn. But yeah, let's get onto the individual moves themselves, and this will be pretty much a lightning round of sorts where I'll go through them pretty quickly. So, ready, set, go. His jab is a really safe move, but what this move is known for is its notorious combos. Yes, the infamous jab down B and the jab up B, both of which are combos you'll see Terry means do a lot out of their jabs, pretty much because of move cancellation. I'll talk about his up B, down B, and even his move cancellations later on in a more in-depth manner, but going back to his jab combos. So when you're fighting against a Terry, you have to know that when he does his jab power dunk or jab down B, you should SDI in or up, and you'll be safe. Though the drawback of SDIing in is that Terry can hit you with a jab up B, which is more prominent at higher percents. But if you SDI out, try to refrain from punishing Terry most of the time. So to put things simply, when your opponent SDIs in, hit him with a jab up B, and when your opponent SDIs out, hit him with a jab down B. That is, if you're playing as Terry, of course. His forward tilt is a kick, and it's also a pretty safe move, and don't have much to say about this other than his forward tilt can combo into Buster Wolf. Wow. But I'll get on to, of course, Buster Wolf later on. His leg also has intangibility in this move. Down tilt, while looking almost identical to Ryu's and Ken's, isn't as spammable as theirs, but it's very useful indeed. His forward smash is the backspin kick, and while it does have quite a bit of startup and ending lag, it does around 18% and has immense killing power. His up smash is an uppercut so that looks like Ryu's up smash, and it's called the wild upper, and it does more damage when it's a late hit, which does around 18%, but 16% at its early hit. His down smash slide kick does 12% and only hits in front of Terry. Also, I was watching this tournament where a commentator accidentally thought his down smash was his down tilt, and I honestly can't blame him. His down smash looks so relaxed when performed swiftly that, yeah, it almost looks like a down tilt. His Nair chop can be cancelled into his specials and is quite quick. His fair is jump quick and has him kick diagonally. His bear jumpward back quick looks similar to Ryu's. And his up air is somersault kick and can be used like Mario's up air in terms of kill setups, low end lag, and combos. His dash attack power charge is quite reminiscent of Samus, Captain Falcon's, or Ganondorf's dash attack. This is a special move from Real Bout Fatal Fury, and people kinda expected this to be his dash attack. I mean, it really looks like one. He also sometimes says goodbye when he uses this move. This move also boasts some pretty decent KO power. We're finally onto his special moves where his special inputs come in. Twitter user LocusSK made a very sweet, concise, and clear Terry command guide, and honestly he really did a great job, and especially on the graphic design. I like it. I have it on the screen up right now. He also has a YouTube channel, and I reckon you check it out if you want to get better with using Terry. His neutral special is when tapped, the wave of energy goes slower and does slightly less damage, but when you hold down on it, the energy wave goes farther and does slightly more damage instead. It is quite a superb projectile. When used in the air, however, Terry sends out a pathetically short-range energy burst that's known as a round wave. His first side special, and yes, I said first, I'll get onto that later, is Burning Knuckle. He dashes forward with an energy punch and it looks really sick. You can tap the move, it's just less damage, but if you hold the move, it goes farther and does more damage. For his command input, you do a quarter circle, kind of like a Hadouken with Ryu or Ken, and it will give you the more powerful version of the Burning Knuckle. When you perform it, it's indicated with green flames. It's barely noticeable, and it's a minor yet neat touch. Though I think I remember this move being orange when you did like a stronger version of it. I don't know why they didn't use that, but I can't say for sure because I'm not a Fatal Fury expert. Of course, tapping or holding still applies to the command input. This move can also be used for recovering, which I'll go more in depth about later. Now, what's cool about Terry is that he is the first fighter in Smash Bros. History to have a second side special. It's a flying axe kick called the crack shoot. Basically, to perform it, you have to hold the diagonal stick backwards and then B. Again, tapping or holding applies to either the command version or normal version of this move. And speaking of which, you would have to perform a quarter circle backwards with the analog stick, which, I mean, it makes sense because it's basically a backwards side B, and that's how you perform the special input. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I didn't really see a difference between the normal version and the special input, but again, correct me if I'm wrong. This can also be used for recovering, which again, I'll get onto later. His up B is Rising Tackle. You can tap on the move, which makes you go up, but obviously if you hold on it, you'll go farther. Moreover, you can hold the analog stick downwards and for at least 24 frames before releasing it, and then you can press up B, which will give you invincibility throughout the move. And yeah, you can also do it when you're holding on the up B. Now, not only will I go over up B in this section of the video, but also about side B and his backward side B. So in terms of his recovery moves, which are, side B, backward side B, and up B, it's important to note that when you want to get back on the stage horizontally, you can only recover with either forward side B or backward side B. So it's actually only one or the other, so you have to choose between the two. Though, you can get them back if you get hit, unlike Little Mac. Sorry, Little Mac mains. Furthermore, his recovery moves, as unfortunate as it is, cannot grab immediately to the ledge, which gives the opponent the opportunity to 2-frame and it's hard to sweet spot. So that's a flaw when it comes to his recovery. His down B is Power Dunk! It's where Terry leaps diagonally upwards, then descends diagonally downwards, while clenching his fist, ending it off with a sick looking energy punch. You can also perform a special input with this move, which is forward, down, then diagonally down, plus A or B. It makes Terry intangible during the beginning of the move, as well as increasing damage and knockback. Additionally, the stronger special input can sometimes spike if spaced correctly. Of course, tapping or holding applies with this special move, once again making it either weaker or stronger. But no, those aren't all of its special moves. There are 2 more when you reach 100%. Starting off with Power Geyser.
Oh dear, that hitbox.
This thing can hit opponents on platforms and can kill as early as 50%. Terry is terrifying, no pun intended, and Terry sure is scary.
There's also a bit of armor on this move as well.
To perform this move, here we go. You would move the control stick down, diagonally down backwards, and to the left, then to the right, then you press A or B. Or the other way around to perform it backwards. Or for simplicity's sake, let's just say you go down, left, down, right. Lastly, there's Buster Wolf. Terry starts off by asking if you're okay, then slides forward and creates an explosion with his bare hands. There's armor at the startup of this move, by the way. To perform this move, you would perform just the Hadouken input twice, which is just down, right, then press A or B. So basically, to sum it up, you'll be granted with unlimited access to these two special moves, Power Geyser and Buster Wolf, whenever you're at 100% or above. It's almost like you get stronger over time, kinda like Lucario, don't you think? It's indicated by the Go icon next to Terry on the UI, which you've probably already seen a couple times from my gameplay footage. At first, I actually thought he was gonna have the maximum meter, but instead they went with the super special moves, and let's be real, the gimmick would have been awesome either way, no matter what they picked. So, all in all, these two super special moves, Power Geyser and Buster Wolf, are extremely powerful and are very important to keep an eye on when you're at 100%. They both kill super early, and you have both those super special moves and Rage when I think you're at 120%. So you have both of those at your disposal. Though, while they do kill early, it's kinda hard to find kill options for Terry in general, especially if you don't have his super special or Go moves. Plus, these two moves are very punishable, so just like what Sakurai stated, they come with high risk and high reward. Finally, his final smash, Triple Wolf. I love his final smash. He starts off with Triple Geyser, then connects with Power Dunk, then says, here's the big one, before all culminating in its max Buster Wolf. And just the aggressive way he says Buster Wolf, it's just, mwah, I love it. So I'm gonna end the video off on a bit of a wholesome note here, but in conclusion, Terry was, well, quite frankly, not even near the list of my most wanted characters to join Smash Bros. Like, not even close. Like, I didn't even know who the guy was. I'm not even afraid to point out that when he was revealed, I honestly kinda got disappointed due to getting sick of characters that I didn't even know about, like, at all, joining the roster of my most favorite video game series of all time. I mean, my friends and I were way more hyped about a certain Mii costume joining Smash instead. And come on, let's be real here. I'm not even the only one who felt the same way when Terry was announced. I know quite a handful of people who didn't even know who he was, or at the very least didn't even care about this guy joining Smash Bros. You see a bunch of fans clamoring for characters such as Crash Bandicoot, or Sora from Kingdom Hearts, or dare I say it, Waluigi. But Terry Bogard, nowhere near the level of popularity of those characters. However, as time went on, I started to become more accepting of Terry Bogard joining the Smash family. From disappointment to approval, or ignorance to embracement, my viewpoint of Terry went through a complete 180. Going back to what Sakurai stated, a character being fun to play as is greater than one being recognizable. And I would be lying if I stated that Terry didn't deliver with the fun. With his complex yet satisfying and special inputs, or his cheesy yet charming and memorable catchphrases. I'd have to admit that I had a fun time and an enjoyable time with him. Yes, I still might be waiting at the edge of my seat for Steve from Minecraft, or Tracer from Overwatch, or literally any recognizable video game character to join the battle. Yes, I may be one who would even prefer the Angry Birds or a pea shooter to join instead of Terry. But even with all of that, Terry is still a terrific guy. And finally, let's end off with my 3 viewer questions for this video. So number 1, what are your thoughts on Terry? Do you love him or do you hate him? And number 2, what is your favorite alternate costume of Terry? Mine might be the second to the last one, which is the black one with the metal plate. And number 3, have you played an SNK game before? Because I'm interested to know, because I haven't as far as I remember. And I'm interested to know if you guys do. And answer in the comment section down below. I want to hear what you guys think, and of course I'll read them, I'll check them out, because I love hearing responses from you guys. And wow, not to mention,
this is my first time that I made a back-to-back video, like a back-to-back upload. Like yesterday was my Mario Maker 2 reaction. Well, granted, I didn't expect that coming. I never saw it coming. I never saw that video coming, but so I didn't know that I was actually gonna make a reaction video on that yet. But yeah, I mean, so there was an upload today. I mean, there's an upload yesterday and an upload today. So wow, that's my first back-to-back upload, which is pretty neat. So yay! And expect some more YouTube videos to come out soon, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any fan art you want to submit to me, again, you may do so via Twitter, Instagram, or Discord. And speaking of Discord, of course, like I said in the beginning, our new Discord server is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I worked really hard on this one, like a lot of hours on it, and hope you all have a great rest of your day, and this has been Errol the Barrel, signing out.